Hello there, welcome to the Amijo show, day 6 of hashtag 21 days. So this is a very special series of the Amijo show. This will continue after our 21 days, but this is very much focused on the here and now. I've been planning to do the Amijo show, as my next guest knows, for about 18 months. But hey, there we go. Things happen for a reason and when they're meant to, so therefore that when this started and I was about to launch the Amijo show, that I've got to do it anyway. So what I'm doing and asking my amazing guests that I have over this show is to provide the support and tips they can. So all my guests are experts who I believe are at the top of their field. They really are. They absolutely walk their walk, they talk their talk, and they know their stuff, and they've worked hard, they've got experience, and they really give an incredible amount of value to what they do and their message. And they also happen to be friends of mine, hence Amijo, friend Joe. This next lady here, this my lovely guest today, also, and this was another theme of my other show, but it's gone a bit by the wayside, but hey, is also called Joanna, which I am too. I'm a Joanna. So I have got lots of, I think I've got 34 friends who are called Joe, Joanna, Joanne, Joe with an E, Mem. I think it's 34 is the last count. It's quite crazy. So today I'm thrilled to say hello to Joanna Jewitt.
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate that. That's lovely notice you just said about me.
Oh, pleasure. No, it's great. It's great to have you. So Joanna came over a little while ago to my house, and we had a tech disaster, I think. But nothing is ever a disaster. A disaster is only when you don't learn from it and you don't move on. So we had a tech disaster in theory, and virtually every single thing we did went horribly wrong. It was hysterical. It was just everything. All the tech that I normally rely on, it works perfectly. Everything normally that just goes, oh yeah, boom, 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 boom. It just all went horribly wrong. And obviously this was why. Because I was meant to be doing this today with you and talking to rapid transformational therapist, hypnotherapist.
Yes, that's right.
Qualified to the hilt, and just an amazing person to help you get over trauma, anxiety, and help you move on. And I've got an amazing testimonial for you in a minute from a friend of ours that we both know. You've been working with her, and she is blown away. So anyway, I'm going to let Joanna do some talking. So hi, Joanna, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I really am. Thank you so much. It's lovely to be on the show with you today.
And the tech's working. So it's working. It's not us, it's not our energy, it's not our EMF. Yeah, no, it's great to have you back on today, because you are such a incredible resource for people that really do have something that they are stuck on, and on a really much deeper level. Joanna, you're amazing at helping people move on. So tell us a bit more about how you do what you do and how you got into it.
So how I do what I do. So as you said, Joe, I am a rapid transformational therapist, and I work with ladies, with people, with men as well, by developing sessions with them. So when I find out what the issue is from the client, we work through that, and then we go into hypnosis, which is a very relaxing process, and then question the issues they have so that they can understand it and then be released and be free to live without it. And how I got into it was when I got made redundant a couple of years ago. I felt I didn't want to do that job anymore. So I looked for something that used personal development, something I've been into for years and years, and actually found a way to actually put across what I really want to do, which is help the community, help people feel better about themselves.
Yeah, fantastic. Because a lot of your clients must be people that are kind of really just tried lots of different things possibly, and either spent money on getting this help and that help, and just nothing's really worked, and they can feel that kind of that nothing. It's very frustrating, isn't it? But I should imagine when you've gone down that road of trying this, trying that, and read all the books that you can put your hands on, still nothing works.
Exactly. That is the case with a lot of my clients. When people do other types of therapy, unless you get to the root cause, the exact root and reason for why you've held on to an anxiety or a fear or a block, you can't get rid of it. It's like you've got to really understand why it started and when it started. And when you know that, you can then say, I'm not that person anymore. So that's the difference between the therapy I do and a lot of other still valid therapies you can use.
Yeah, fantastic. And and obviously at the moment, unfortunately, people will be going through trauma with being confined. I'm sure. So just my screen after saying there's no technical glitch, my screen has gone blank. But I can still hear you and see you. So
I can see you.
It's definitely recording, but anyway, there we go. So yeah, because obviously people will be confined right now, and I should imagine that maybe is pulling up lots of different things for people, different anxieties. Mine was claustrophobia, for example. Not badly, but I do get that. So yeah, so perhaps you could talk about that and what you think you could do to what people can do to help themselves just right now.
It's certainly true, Jo. This whole thing, I mean, watching the media constantly is very bad for us. I think there's been quite a bit of advice saying just catch up on the news once, maybe later on in the day, and that's it, and turn it off the rest of the day. Because if you're constantly watching it, it's just going to build that fear, that sense of anxiety. Because what we're doing is we're imagining the absolute worst possible scenario, and that's going to happen to us. So we're projecting our fear into the future, but we've not had the future yet. So we can't possibly know what's going to happen. So what we can do to help with that is become aware, become knowledgeable of what we're doing. If we're suddenly going into an internal loop, thinking this is going to happen to me and the worst will happen, then we're going to make ourselves feel worse and worse, and it's just going to carry on. So become aware of what you're thinking and make a decision to stop, listen to the media for a certain amount of time, come back to it when it's time, when it's right for you. But just pull back from constantly listening to the same message and over and over again.
Yeah, no, that's true. So I have mentioned before on the show, but I look at Twitter for 5 minutes twice a day. I can't actually watch the news, like the recordings. It engages me too much, and I get swept into it. So what I do is just I go onto Twitter and watch, just read the headlines, read some of the media kind of articles. Look for the facts. We were talking before we came onto the recording about all the horrid supposition. It was on Absolute Radio yesterday where they were creating ridiculous suppositions about, this might go on for 6 months or longer. And it's like, God, how unhelpful is that right now for people that are really struggling to be at home, that aren't necessarily in happy homes, that or suffer from whatever they suffer. I think just that is really important, like you say, to buy out of it and just stick to your here and now with your own environment.
Absolutely, that's absolutely right. I think getting Twitter, that's a good thing, whatever works for you, but it just is a case of don't have it ongoing because it's going to make us feel more worse about the whole situation. And it is not a very nice situation to be in, let's face it. And we just simply don't know how long this is going to go on for. But I think if we are more mindful of what we're thinking, we can make ourselves do other things, feel better about ourselves for remaining of the time.
And what could you recommend, say, for example, like people like me, or that, definitely there's certain triggers of confinement that are being set off. What can we do, like, to distract ourselves or take ourselves away from it? Is there any sort of things you can really recommend that work really well?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm saying, I even had a call with a friend this morning, a client this morning, and I was saying to her, because she's one of these people who are stuck in one small room, renting the room, and I'm saying to her, and she actually works for the NHS, that if she thinks to herself, she has a phenomenal immune system. She only lets in whether it's something she hears or actually anything that's going on, things that she wants to have let in. So I have a phenomenal immune system. I only let into my personal space things that I want, things that are good for me. And having a hood which we can put over our head, which stops and blocks the media and stops and blocks anything we don't want to have. So I can't constantly work on the mental side of it, of thinking, I can fight this with my mental image by saying to myself, I have a phenomenal immune system. I only let in things to my personal space that I want to let in, things that are positive and helpful.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. I think, you know, we need to get that message out to every single natural health worker out there at the moment, because they must be, I can't imagine, they must be petrified of, you know, that so many of them have families and elderly parents, and, you know, the kids thankfully seem to be sort of fairly resilient to it, but it's just still, it's just, you know, it must be hideous, absolutely hideous.
Very frightening. It's a very frightening situation we're all living in. We're in a horror movie right now.
But we have to reconfigure the kind of the setting, don't we? We have to actually take that ourselves out of that and think, right, okay, it's all of that, but actually I have got control of my body, I've got control of my mind. What am I going to do? What can I say to my, you know, affirmations are really helpful, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They really are, because then you're taking control. You're then allowing only what you want to have in your life. I'm not saying it's going to stop getting the coronavirus, but if you actually say to yourself, when I'm out on the bus or I'm out and about in the shops, you're doing everything you can do to protect yourself by building up your own mental strength. And I do believe it will work. Yeah. So it's worth pursuing anyway, because it makes you feel better and you are feeling like you're in charge of what's going on.
And it creates some positive energy, doesn't it? It creates a positive statement. But yeah, no, I absolutely believe it's true. We become what we think. So
absolutely,
be aware of your thoughts. And I've been just saying to myself, I'm not going to get the coronavirus. I'm just not going to get it.
It's better to say I only let in things I want to let in, because if we say I don't want to get it, if I don't want it, then we're inviting negative back in.
Good point. Thank you so much.
So
I'm really
glad
you said that.
It's so easily done. It really is. Because we think we're doing the right thing, and we are almost.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so just tell us it again, that statement, because that was so powerful.
So I like to say I have a phenomenal immune system. I
have a phenomenal immune system.
I only let in things that I want to let into my personal space.
I only let in things that I want to let into my personal space.
Things that are positive, helpful, and supportive for me.
Things that are positive, helpful, and supportive.
Yeah.
I love it. That is really, really fantastic. Oh, okay. I'm going to put that as a link, as a statement attached to the video. When I share this later on social media.
That'd be wonderful.
Because I think that is just such an amazingly powerful statement. And I love the case study. So I hope you do a little selfie video, Joanna, with this about the lady, that, you know, that nurse or doctor, whoever she is, because I think that's so powerful for us to relate to someone who is literally confined in one room, putting themselves at risk. And I think that's such a powerful case study of about what we tell ourselves is so impactful. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you. I will do that.
And is there, so what would you suggest? So I'm just thinking the kind of flip side is some people will be really getting into that story of how long this is going to be and the what ifs. So if this is a month's time or 2 months time, then this will happen or that will happen. So what could they say to themselves to, you know, what would be a really good statement and to bring themselves back into now and not go down that rabbit hole of the long-term stuff?
It's very important to realize we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know what's going to happen to myself tomorrow. I mean, I've got a good idea because I've planned for myself, and that's probably what everyone's doing. But the whole idea of thinking I'm going to catch something in the future or in the near future, I don't know that's going to happen for a fact. What I do know is right now, today, present moment, right now, I am fine. I am happy. I'm not showing any symptoms or anything. So right now, this present moment is absolutely fine. And there's no reason why that can't be the case tomorrow and the day after. So focusing on the present moment, focusing on the power of where we are right now, which is that everything is okay. And I guess...
sorry. No.
I think that if we are constantly thinking we're going to get the coronavirus in a couple of weeks, when the peak happens, then we're more encouraging it to come to us. This is this whole like attracts like. If we're saying to ourselves, I'm going to get it, of course I'll get every cold under the sun, I'm going to get the coronavirus, then our immune system is weakening. So for us, it's more important to say to ourselves, actually, I'm great today. It may be raining, it may be sunshiny, but right now I'm fine, and I'm going to feel great tomorrow, and I'm going to feel great the next day, because I'm telling myself that's how I'm going to feel.
Yeah, fantastic. And the other thing that's happening, I think, for people is they're worrying about their jobs, about their homes, you know, that sort of thing. So what would you, I guess it's just the same principle, isn't it? Right now, I have a home, you know, I am secure, I am safe, I am warm. It's back to those needs, I suppose, is it?
Yes, back to present moment. And if people are worrying about the job, I'm not saying this is easy, and I'm not saying that we have the answers to anything right now, but the best thing I can think that we can do is just remain in the present moment and do the best we can in that time, and just keep saying to yourself, I have a phenomenal immune system, I am where I am right now, and I'm here because of all the great things that happened in my life, and I'm very grateful for that. So if we come back to feeling grateful for things and show appreciation for things that have gone well, then it's more like we can then build on that going forward.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I'm grateful for now. I have everything I need. You know, and just at the moment. So it's always about at the moment. Yeah, fantastic. Well, what I might do is at the end of this, I'll get some just key statements from you, and then we can put those up attached to this, and then people can really kind of use those as you know, print them off or write them on post-it notes everywhere, where, you know, just to remind themselves and tell, you know, to say it as much as possible, because that really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It really does. The more you say it to yourself, the more it becomes familiar, the more the mind will accept it. If we start talking about things that we don't want, the mind gets familiar with that. So it's better to be familiar with things that we do want. Talk about what we do want. Yeah. Which is to feel healthy and happy and able to do the job that we can do. Yeah.
And we've talked, you know, there's been a common theme, obviously, with a lot of my my shows, but you know, they're very much actually, well, what can I do differently then? So I'm here now, and I've been doing so many different things because I'm here and I'm still, and I'm can't really go off anywhere. You know, I was always flitting off to places and doing things.
Yes.
But I'm doing so many different things, and I'm doing much more of my own content for my business, but also stuff for my kids. We make lunch together now. You know, that never would have happened before. We've created some games. We're doing all sorts of crazy things. We're always going for a walk together. We go for a short walk with the dog, but you know, safely. But the three of us go together if we do go out. Not every day, but we go together. Whereas before it was generally me that would take the dog out. So that there's quite a lot that you couldn't just be grateful for. Actually, I'm grateful for the fact that I have this time with my kids, and it's valuable time, and it's you know, and really just tune into those different things that you're feeling and can experience.
That's perfect, Jo. It really is. And that just shows exactly how we can use this time. I mean, I heard last weekend Stephen Fry talking on the radio, and he was saying, I found it really empowering. It's really stuck with me, actually. He talked about how we can now take more time about what we do with things. So if you're cooking, for example, put everything in a nice little pot, like you do on MasterChef, or you take things out of the pot. You know, it's really enjoying the simplicity of the fact that we've got more time, because you will never have time. We've now got a lot more time to be at home, to actually do things well and do the best we can with it. So it's really nice. Go for that walk, take the dog. I'm going out for my constitutional every day if I can manage it. And it's really nice to do that, because I never normally get time to go every week, every day of the week. So yeah, taking more time to do things, to do it more slowly and being more conscious of it. Yeah, fantastic. Wow, so much great stuff there, Joanna. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. And I'm wishing you a very safe and healthy, and your family too, time right now.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you again in a couple of weeks, because I have a feeling that I'm going to end up carrying on this, this 21 days is going to be another 21 days.
Yeah.
But why not? Why not? Because I can, and I love it. I'm really enjoying it. And it's just such a joy to speak to people like you and get this incredible, you know, what I call gold of information. You know, these gold nuggets of information that just come to me, and I'm hopefully that will get passed on to as many people as possible.
Thank you, Jo. Thank you for inviting me.
No
It's been my
problem.
pleasure.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye then. Bye.